Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Frildren, and as you see, I am back in Star Trek Online, and today I'm going to be going over a couple of things. First one being the current event for this, well, about to end current event, 16th anniversary event is very close to being done. So if you haven't gotten your ship yet, you might have to buy it out. You only got like a little over 15 hours here, almost 16 hours left. And so yeah, make sure you get that. If you haven't watched my video yet on the ship itself, go back and do that if you want. But today I'm going to be going over the current events that are going on. It just started today. Earlier this morning for me, it was Central, Standard Time at like 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. So for you, it's going to vary depending on what time zone you're in. So we have two things. We have the current featured event, A Good Day to Die. These are very important events to complete, not only because it usually gives you a pretty decent reward, which I'm definitely looking forward to this reward here, but it also is part of the event campaign. As you can see here, it is the second part to this event campaign. Up here you can see that I have a decent amount in it already. 50 of this is from, 50 points from in this right now is from this current one, because I did do it this morning when it came out. I'm trying to make sure I do it on cooldown, because every time you complete it, you get the 50 points daily, or for your progress points. And if you complete it on cooldown, since it's not a 24-hour cooldown, it's a 20-hour cooldown, you can actually, once the 6th progress has been made, so once this says 6 right here, it'll actually only have been 5 days, because if you do it on cooldown 6 times, you'll actually end up taking 24 hours off, because it's 4 hours off each time. 6 times equals 24 hours. So that ends up being like just 5 days of doing this, but you have 6 total progress. So that's why I always say, make sure for these events, do it on cooldown so you can get it done quicker. And also, once you've completed this and you have claimed the reward, you can still do the event and gain 50 per time you do it, points in this. So just because you've completed this and claimed your reward doesn't mean you're finished, because you will get points here every time you complete it after that. So that being said, we'll see. What's the other thing? Oh yeah, the other thing is the it's probably not going to show it here. The other thing is the Klingon recruitment event. I'm going to be doing a video on that later. It'll probably come out tomorrow. But that's another good event to be doing right now. It's similar to all the other ones, like the Romulan recruit, or like the I just got done doing the Omega recruit. So, or not Omega, Gamma recruit with the Jemadar. So it'll be like that, but a lot longer than the Jemadar one. The Jemadar is actually considered pretty short. All the other recruit systems are a lot longer. So, but yeah, in this one, I'm just going to be going over the current event itself. I'm going to go ahead and do one of these. I might do videos where I do all of these. I'll probably do them individually, because there's 6 of them to do. There are no new ones, which is kind of a bummer, but this is an older event. So it has older stuff in here. Some of these are pretty old. A lot of these are from like the Discovery stuff when it came out. So I think actually pretty much most of it is. So, and a lot of them are like simulations. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and first look at the reward itself. Now this is interesting because it's not, okay, it's a space set, but not a space actual set. Most of the times you'll get something where it's a weapon, like a beam weapon or a cannon, and then you get like a torpedo, and then you get a console. But this one has 2 energy weapons, a dual beam array, or Klingon Executioner's Dual Disruptor Beam Array Bank, or Beam Bank, not array. And then we have a Klingon Executioner Dual Disruptor Heavy Cannon. And then we have a Klingon Executioner's Photon Torpedo Launcher. So these are not set pieces. So that kind of brings the value of these kind of down a little bit. But let's go ahead and actually read these. These will be the same basically. So except for like the amount of damage they do. This will probably do a lot more damage, I believe. Oh, actually, no, I'm on ground, so it's not gonna be proper. But this one says 469.6, and this one says 492.3. So the cannons are they do more damage. All right, so let's just go ahead and read this one. All right, so this is the Klingon Executioner Dual Disruptor Beam Bank. It has a 90-degree firing arc, which is standard for that. 2 target disruptor damage, and then minus 10 weapon power to self while firing, standard for this kind of weapon. And then we also have, this is what makes this one unique. If target is below 20% hull, you have a 20% chance to instantly destroy weaker enemies. So that's like, wow, that's a really high chance. And I think this is the reason why it is not a set piece, because this right here in itself seems pretty overpowered. Because normally something like this is like, you can see on the bottom there where it says 2.5% chance to minus all damage resistance rating. That's pretty common to see on weapons, that 2.5%. And occasionally you have ones that will be like 5%, but this one says 20%. So that is a big chance. Plus it instantly destroys weaker enemies that are below 20% health. All right, and then the next part we have a 20% chance to deal 2% max hull as damage to stronger enemies instead. So I'm trying to think about this. I was reading it earlier, and is it their hull? So if they're at, because when you read the first one, it says 20%, below 20% hull. So I'm assuming this one means they're above 20% hull, or does this mean like actual physically stronger enemies? Is there like a line between weak enemies and strong enemies? But I would assume it'd be 2% max hull is their hull, so I'm doing that much damage to them, or is it 2% of my hull? I'm assuming it's theirs because it's doing damage to them, and it's based on the first one is based on their hull, so I'm assuming this one will be. So I have a 20% chance to do 2% of their hull as damage to them, to a stronger enemy, and I'm assuming that enemy is above 20% health because the previous one is below 20% health. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, then again we have that minus 10% all damage resistance rating for 15 seconds with a 2.5% chance to proc, which isn't bad. Usually it's a lot better to have a lot of weapons to have that, but although there are weapons you can have to have that, so if you get disruptors to have that, no problem. And this is basically the same thing. The only difference on this one, I don't know why. Well, other than this one does more damage and has that 2% plus 2 more weapon power cost drain. This is 12, and the other one is 10. So the difference, I don't know why. I don't know if this is like a typo or or what, because on here it has at the very bottom, because the rest of it's basically the same thing, but on the bottom it says plus 4% crit chance, plus 20% crit severity. And if you look down here on the torpedo, it says the same thing on the bottom. Or this is accuracy, but up here it doesn't say that. So I don't know if it's they just didn't put it on there, if it's supposed to be the same as this one, I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, let's go look at the torpedo, the Klingon Executioner Photon Torpedo Launcher. Uh, you know, photon torpedoes are pretty common. 90-degree targeting arc, and we're on ground, so it's not going to be proper. It says 2,311 kinetic damage. Deals additional damage depending on the target's current hull, up to 50% bonus damage at max hull. So if they're at maximum hull, this does 50% more damage. I would assume we might get more. I don't know. It's kind of weird because it didn't say the minimum. A lot of times they have the minimum on here too, but obviously, I guess so. You know, less hull they have, the less damage you're gonna do to them. I guess I don't know. This requires them to be at max hull to do the most damage. It's kind of weird, but anyways. But yeah, that's basically it for the weapons that we'll be getting. Now the other things you get from this, you get your 25,000 dilithium ore on top of the main reward. Plus, you also get the featured TF reward times 3. These you have a choice between a enhanced universal tech upgrade or a specialization point. And I almost always recommend going for the enhanced universal tech upgrade because they're decent upgrades. Plus, you get 3 of them if you choose to open all 3 boxes and choose this all 3 times. Or you can choose like 2 of these and 1 specialization point if you want or whatever. But I usually recommend the upgrades every time there's an option for upgrades and something else. Usually upgrades are probably the better one to go with. So now I'm going to go ahead and do this one, Defensive Starbase 1. This one, it takes about 8 minutes or so to complete. It's not too bad. It's pretty straightforward. Like I said, I might do separate videos on each individual one of these because there's 6 of them total. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this one. This one should be pretty quick to get into because, like I said, it's a shorter one. So
the war has not been going well for the Federation, and the Klingons are advancing to our position. We need to hold off their ships until reinforcements can arrive. We expect the Klingons to attack in waves. Their smaller, faster ships are hungry for battle and won't wait for the rest of their fleet to arrive in one group. As the fight progresses, their heavier ships will show up. Hold them off until more Starfleet ships can get here.
all right. So yeah, basically, this is a wave after wave thing, basically. Especially to start here. We're going to go ahead and take out all these enemies. New ones are going to spawn. Up until a point where they'll start having these lanes where ships are trying to escape the starbase. And yeah, it's just basically enemy spawns, you take them out. And like I said, it takes about 8 minutes, or a little over 8 minutes. But it's kind of, you know, spawn your pets. They'll have plenty to do. Yeah, there's groups over there and the group over here. I just kind of fly around all willy-nilly and then take out enemies. Pretty much all you're gonna be doing at this point anyways. Let me zoom out a bit. Activating fire at will every once in a while.
Target's shield have failed.
Do gravity well. I think we're about done here. There's a few more ships here to get.
There's a break in incoming
There we go.
signatures. You may have a short amount of time before more arrive.
All right, so now they're going to start popping up with lanes once this countdown is done. I believe it does all 4 sides or major sides.
Reading some heavier ships incoming. Raiders and battle cruisers.
And they do get tougher as it goes. So every time the escaping ship spawns, the next group of enemies will be tougher. I'm gonna blind you all here for a second. Okay, sometimes they did something with that because it doesn't always blind now. Whenever you call out the Beacon of Kalis. Yeah, this line right here is just defend this ship right here. Make sure it gets out.
Target shield has failed.
Usually it's pretty easy. You heal it up if you want. Although I don't do a lot of healing, unfortunately. I need to actually like do a better job at having some healing skills on this character.
Target shield.
As you can see up here, this is optional. But the main thing you're really doing is just taking out Klingon ships.
Decatur is taking some fire. Please assist.
All right, that one's done. Next one will be over here.
An evacuation ship is launching. Give them cover.
Basically do the same thing. Again, it's optional to do this part, to save it. But you might as well. You get a slightly better reward if you save it.
Target shield.
Like slightly more marks, I guess.
This is Andor. Our shields are taking hits, and we could use an escort.
All right, next one. Is it over here? I think it's back here.
The Klingons are regrouping again. Get into position to prepare for the next assault.
All right, so yeah, these ones are
Ship is launching.
tougher ships now. But they're not that much tougher.
Here come the Klingon battleships. Keep fighting.
Ship is under attack.
Bring out pets. Put them everywhere.
Target shields have failed.
Not doing too bad on health there. Just top it up.
Target shields have failed.
That should be out here in a minute or a second. All right, there it goes. Next one will be on the other side here. It'll be like right here, I believe, where it comes out. Yep.
Evacuation ship is launching. Give them cover.
Target shields have failed.
And just do the same thing over. And then once this is done, all we have to do is just clear out remaining enemies.
Target shields have failed.
All right, almost done. All right, clear out remaining enemies.
Roosevelt is in need of aid. Can you draw off some of those enemy ships?
Target shields have failed.
Got one more over there. All right, there it is. That's all you have to do. Then collect your reward,
Take them off for now.
and you're done. You can go ahead and leave the map. All right, so yeah, that's basically it. Pretty easy one to do. I would say that's probably one of the better ones to do for daily because it's shorter. I haven't really played all these yet. I played a few of them earlier today, kind of test them out. I know that the first three are pretty long, or not first three, but the first one's short, and then the next three are pretty long. I haven't tested out these ones yet. I haven't had time to, so yeah. I'll definitely do another video on the weapons themselves. But you know, I'll try to make sure I do more videos on the different TFOs. They're all space TFOs, which is nice. Sometimes the ground ones could be kind of buggy, but yeah. Leave a like, comment, all that good stuff down below, and I will see you next time. Bye.